my friends are wondering where I've been or if I'm still alive. They're worried over nothing. They should know I'm perfectly fine. It's just the mood I get in now and then when I need to get my head clear. I turn off my phone, get lost, get gone, and flat out disappear. Well, there ain't no telling where I'm bound, a big city or the country, a little beach town, but you won't find me, 'cause I can't be found. I'm on a mission to be missing. I'll be back someday, I don't know when. Till then, I'll be a feather floating in the wind. So don't you go missing me, 'cause sometimes missing is my favorite place to be. I bet the grass is 3 feet high and the mailbox is full of bills.
Wacky Wednesday. Wacky Wednesday.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Unfiltered. The real deal. No pre-planning. No chingaderas. Straight up from the bill.
Wacky Wednesday.
B-Town's very own.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Here's your host, Bumper Gomez.
Kind of show this country show.
There you go, man. There you go. Welcome to another episode of Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. Here we are starting this new year, our second Wednesday, our second show of the year. And super excited to have, I was just telling him this story that we have where we used to haul ass home to watch this kid on TV from South Texas, representing South Texas, and we were living in California, and we'd have the whole family around the TV cheering for this guy, and I don't watch that kind of stuff, man. I don't watch any of that kind of things. But no, man. Welcome to the show, everybody. As promised, as promised, in the studio, all the way from Lytle, Texas, by way of San Antonio, Mr. Gabe Garcia.
How's it going, everybody?
We're gonna. He doesn't know yet because people are gonna be on here be like, fix his mic, mom, fix his mic. So I'm gonna have to
You can't hear me?
Loosen this right here and make it go that way. I should have.
Let's see.
There you go, right there. Level. Put it down like that. Let's see if it holds up. That's good. It'll stay right up.
Just pull it back.
There we go. So, welcome to the show, everybody. I hope everybody's having, again, like I said, a fantastic Wednesday evening. This is my third.
I'm gonna put it over here, cover the double chin.
Oh,
That's
man!
a New Year's resolution, right? You got.
Did you start? Do you have a New Year's resolution, Gabe?
New me, new year, new me. No, I mean, I do have to get healthier. I mean, I come with a family of heart attacks, man. So it's like, me and my brother were talking about that the other day. We were like, man, we better go get our blood checked and start getting. We're already getting that age, man. We gotta.
Start taking care of yourself.
We gotta go get our blood work and start, especially down there, like where I live. Like everybody walks and rides bikes and. Down in Southtown, and I've been there a year. I've only ridden my bike one time.
Hey, you know what, dude? Southtown of San Antonio, Southtown, which is a preppy part of San Antonio downtown. It's really nice.
It's kind of like the Austin of
it's the Austin part of San Antonio. But this is what I'm gonna tell you about Southtown, bro. Southtown reminds me of living in California. And the reason I say that is because, like you said, everybody's on bikes. Everybody's exercising, right? You walk into a taco shop in Southtown, and you know if you're kind of big, people look at you up and down like, "Hey, bro, you don't need to be in this taco shop. You need to be on a bike somewhere, right?" And you know, you go anywhere else, it's like you walk in a you know, same thing. You go to Austin, you walk in and you're kind of the heavier side. You get the look like, "Hey, bro, these tacos are healthy tacos. Like you shouldn't be in here." You know what I mean? And in Cali, everybody's fit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody's fit. So
well, I don't fit in over there.
So man, shout out to everybody again tuning in. Thank you guys, for tuning in. It's going to be a great show.
Thanks for having me too, man.
No, bro. Thank you for coming all the way from downtown.
Yeah.
Gabe Garcia, I've been looking him up all week since last Thursday, piece by piece, little bit here and there. That's what I like to do when I have an artist. Just, you know, it really makes for a great show. And dude, your vibe is straight Texas. There's not a like I don't know. You're all Texas, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, when we used to watch you, if you guys didn't know, Gabe, what season of Nashville Star was that?
So it was actually the 6th season, which was the last one they had, because it used to be like on USA Channel and
CMT
probably did it, yeah, and then NBC was the one that I did, but like the first one was had Miranda Lambert, Buddy Jewell won that season. Chris Young was on a middle season; he won his. Casey Musgraves was on one, but I don't think she
didn't make it, yeah.
And then I ended up being on the sixth season, which was on NBC.
And you were the semifinalist, you know.
Yep, semifinalist, and it was on major television. So, which I got lucky to be on that. Like, you know, because it was just huge. Because it was just American Idol and Nashville Star were the only like singing competitions.
Right.
Right after that, like The Voice came about, and it kind of took over everything. You know.
And dude, so who was the star that beat you?
Her name was Melissa Lawson. She was from Arlington. I mean, I heard I won. But that's how I heard it. Hopefully she's not watching. She'll probably see it. She's a friend on my Facebook.
Oh man,
Melissa was awesome. It was a good time. It was a great competition, and we're all still friends and stuff, and we keep in touch here.
I see you went back for they had like a reunion, like a what do you call it, show? Oh, where you went back. I saw it on YouTube. It was like you went back later on or something.
No, that might have been Nyosa. You're probably looking at the wrong thing.
Oh man,
I don't know. I don't think I went to reading thing. I don't remember.
So, like I said, man, you know,
a lot of beers ago.
Let me share this before somebody says, "Hey, I didn't see it. I didn't see that you were live."
Yeah, that show was in 2008, and it was just a great experience overall, and just a lot of the things I got to do, and like I said, like especially being on NBC, man, it was huge. I got to go to New York and do an interview on the Today Show, you know, in the morning, right? You know, when you would see it on TV, like all the people standing in the window and
right
outside. I mean, it was like that. It was pretty cool. It was like I got to do a lot of extra. I mean, all kinds of. It was cool to have your name thrown all over.
Hey, Gabe, and when you were doing all that, dude, like growing up, did you and your brother and your family, did you guys do a lot of traveling or no?
My parents did. I mean, we would go to California because we have family in California too, and I have a lot of family like in the Hemet, Paris area, and San Diego and stuff. And but as far as like for singing wise, my brother started singing, and I was about 14 or so when I kind of took over doing it and started singing. And when I got into high school, I was in FFA my junior senior year, and so my parents would drive me all over the place to go sing at Opry shows, like in Three Rivers or
George West,
yeah.
Goliath.
They always had all those Opry, shows, all the viejitos.
Yeah.
that's true. I mean, I was singing that old country there too, because the whole band was probably like 70 and up, you know.
Wow.
And the crowd, and so I used to sing all those Bob Wills and
Dude,
Haggard songs and stuff. And
so you were 17 when you were on the Nashville Star.
no,
So
I was I was 17 when I started when I joined my
started
first band.
Right. Okay.
My
Okay.
first band, yeah.
But where I was going
20,
at with
28 when I did Nashville.
how old? 28.
28.
A la madre, bro. You look like you're like 25 right now.
42 now.
No, but ya estás viejito, dude. Hey, but so
I'm getting cramps right here, sitting in the chair, man. Like,
don't
damn.
worry, Cesar. I got some pickle juice for him. We got some pickle juice in the refrigerator. If he starts cramping out, I'll go pull out the pickle juice, man. So no, man, it's kind of where I was going was that, you know, sometimes when I see these things, it's like I assume that sometimes it's like a small town kid, like never really left South Texas, doesn't really know what it's like. You know, for you to go to New York City and see people staring at you through a glass,
Yeah.
it's you know, probably a weird feeling.
No, I mean, I started recording in Nashville when I was 14. Recorded my first 2 songs in Nashville when I was 14. My first full album in Nashville when I was 17. I mean, I was already, like, say, I would go to different cities to go sing in states when I was in FFA and stuff, or just things I started playing at. But yeah, I mean, I never got to like do anything like that. Like, I mean, my dad was a city councilman too in Lytle for a long time, and he'd always get us
The
to play.
big city of Lytle, Texas.
He'd always get us
Shout out to
play.
Lytle, man.
Yeah, love Texas.
Shout out to Nate DeLeon. He said, "What's up,
What's
players?"
up,
He's
Nate?
watching, man.
What's going on, man?
Hey, Nate, I'm praying and I'm hoping that I can convince the wifey to go out to one of your places you wanted to play is what is it? How do you say it? Cheatham Street.
Yeah.
So
It's a cool place out there.
and
San Marcos.
he's gonna be headlining. You know what I
There you
mean?
go.
Oh, it's gonna keep doing it all.
That's okay.
It's
I'll
gonna
do
keep.
it.
So hopefully we get to get out there and watch you, man. Gabe, one thing that I remember is during the show when they came back to your hometown.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And you had like a barbecue, you had a parade for you, right? They had like a hometown parade for you.
5,000 people at the parade and 10,000 people at the park in a town of 3,000. Yeah, it was crazy. And what the sucky thing about it too was like I couldn't like they had me so sequestered and like
You couldn't associate with the
I
people.
couldn't talk to nobody. And I was like, man, and I felt bad, you know. I didn't want them to think like, oh, he thinks all chingón. It was over there.
All your friends are like,
Yeah,
yo,
it used
bro,
to be
like
doing-
you forgot about us or what? It's like I'm over here, I'm locked up, can't do anything, man.
Yeah, 'cause we-
So, but when I saw that again, I was living in California, and it just brought back so many memories for me of growing up in Beeville in a small town,
Yeah.
and it was South Texas. You know, you had your mom, your family, like it was a South Texas town, and for me being out of Texas, it gives you a touch of home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was before YouTube and you know, well, I wouldn't say before, but it just wasn't. I don't think it wasn't as popular as it is now.
interactive
Right.
with it, yeah.
And you know, every week we were watching you, bro. And you'd make it and make it and make it, and I was like, man, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, I just did my thing, and they don't only give you like 2 or 3 songs to pick from, and I mean, because there's a lot of inside things that people didn't know.
And
all that stuff,
so, Gabe, how does that work? So you tried out here in San Antonio?
No, I mean, I guess I can say it now that I'm not on it no more, but.
But hey, don't get the show in trouble, bro. Don't get the show in trouble.
No, I was actually kind of like handpicked, where there's a couple of people that were on the show too that were the same, but I had gotten called. So John Rich was a judge on there, from Big and Rich.
From Big Rich, yeah.
And so, like I said, I've been going to Nashville for a long time before that. You know, since I was 17 and back and forth. You know. For years, and so I already knew people. I already had label interest, labels finding me up, coming to see me. So when I moved up there, I'd only been there like maybe three months, and that's when I got the call from Nashville Star, and they were like, "Hey, it's Gabe Garcia." I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "We got you down for callbacks for Nashville Star." I'm like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." Like, I never turned.
Somebody's pulling my leg.
I never tried out for nothing. So, I was like, "Well, when's the tryout?" But they wouldn't tell me it was John that John Rich that.
Right, that was asking for you.
Yeah, so they were like, "Well, we have." I was like, "I never signed for nothing." They're like, "Well, we have you down." I was like, "So Nashville was like the last city for like after all the cities they did."
Right.
So Nashville was the last one. I think that was like maybe 5,000 people to that one, but I could think, damn, how many people? About 100. I forgot how many people. Thousands tried out, but the top 5,000 went there to Nashville. So I actually turned the show down. Because so when she was like, "Well, it's this weekend," and that weekend that it was like 4 days before the tryouts, and I'm like, "Well, I have a wedding in Corpus that I got to go to, that the people already bought my ticket, my hotel and everything, a bottle of whiskey, like
they had it lined up, bro. It was lined up, ready to go.
4 days before the wedding. This is like for real, true story, and so. And the one that booked me for the wedding was my roommate that I was living with, Davey Olbrich. He's from Hondo, and him and two of my buddies from Hondo lived in Nashville. So I lived with Davey when I moved up there, and he's one that he didn't know the people, but he's like, "Hey, I got these people that are looking for a singer." So they booked me, and like I said, everything was taken care of. And I told the lady, I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I mean, I appreciate the opportunity, but I mean, because I didn't sign for it anyway, so I had no clue what was going on. And so I was like, I can't do it. I can't cancel these people, 4 days before the wedding. I was like, the bride would freaking come kill me, And so she hung up, and then like 5 minutes later, I get another phone call, and it's John Rich, and he's like, "Gabe," and I've been friends with John for a while, John Rich, and so he's like, "Gabe," he's like, "What the hell's going on?" He's like, "You need to do this show, like it's a big show, Nashville Star." He's like, "I'm a judge on there." He's like, "It's a great opportunity. I'm trying to, I want to make you a star, blah, 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 all this stuff." And I'm like, "God damn." I was like, "Well, let me see what they say." I mean, all I can do is either get mad at me or something, or be supportive, and be supportive.
Yo.
And my buddy was like, "God damn." He's like, all freaking out. He's like, I'm out of this. I'm staying out of this. And so he was like, so I called the people, and I was on the phone with them, and they were bummed out, but they're, I just moved to Nashville. I quit.
Hey, so you didn't have a camarada or a homie that you could call me like, "Hey, bro, you want this gig? I need some country music in Corpus."
I did like tell them I was going to help them. Like I was like, "I'll find you somebody,"
right?
Something like that, But I have this opportunity, and they were like, "No, we understand," because they didn't want to be the ones that be like to hold an opportunity like that from me, and be the ones that I could have done this and that, whatever. So. I actually repaid him later on, and I had never met the couple before, and so I did the show. So I called John Rich back, and I'm like, "All right, man, I'm gonna do it." He's like, "Damn right you are." So yeah, so
dude, you're talking about John Rich, bro. Like I mean, these are big time country artists, man. He's telling you, like, bro, for real, like, you gonna pass this shit up?
Yeah. So he was pumped that I called him back and told him I was gonna do it. So then we got the interview set up and everything with the producers from NBC and everything, and I went in there and did all that, and then ended up getting I had to go through the whole process still, but that's how I kind of got in there.
Who else were the judges? Do you remember the other judges?
Joel was a judge, and then Jeffrey Steele, who's a big songwriter, like he's written a crap load of hits. But yeah, so then after the show, I did a big thing, and it was a fundraiser in Castroville. And I brought a couple of the artists from the show with me to do this thing. It was for like the Medina County Hospital. And my friends brought that couple down for that event. And
VIP everything.
Yeah. So I had never met them. I had never met them. So that was the first time. So I brought them on stage. And there was probably like 3,000 people there. I brought them on stage and told everybody the story. And I actually played my song "You're My Everything" that I was supposed to sing at their wedding. I sang it there on the stage and did all that. So I kind of,
dude, that's a badass story though, bro. Like where else you gonna hear that? You know what I mean? And the fact that you were just minding your own business and you get a phone call from Nashville Star, dude, is that's something.
Yes.
You know, dreams are made of, dude. I mean,
You never know.
What made you like? Okay, so when I think of country music, Gabe, and I think of all the movies that I've watched, and I take it all in, I always assume that a guy packs up all the shit that he has, car, truck, train, plane, whatever, and he takes his ass to Nashville, and he finds a crummy apartment, and hopefully he knows somebody there, and basically he's walking around with his guitar case, you know, up and down whatever, like their 6th Street or whatever it is that they have up there, and just kind of knocking on bars' doors saying, "Hey man, can I play here?" That's the vision that I have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of that does go on, and but I was kind of fortunate that I've been going there for so long and was mentored and taken under the.
So you knew where to go.
Wings. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I already had, before I moved there, I already had. I mean, record labels, Sony, RCA, fly me up, come down. They wanted me to move, but I mean, I had a good job at CPS Energy, and you know, I started CPS when I was 19, and but all my vacation was going back and forth, writing, recording, doing this, meetings, all types of stuff, and my dad was, like I said, retired military and city councilman. He was real strict with us and was like, man, yeah, he knew I wanted to go. He knew I had that itch all the time, wanted to go and move up there. And I mean, the labels were hungry for me. They wanted me to move up there. And he was like, man, but you got a great job with no college and this and that. And I'm like, man. So he ended up passing away of a heart attack in 2007. October 2007, and I was just like, you know what, like he was just gone like that. So I was like, you know what, I don't want to. He might be mad at me for going, but I think he'll be my best supporter. You know, like me going up there, you know, along with my mom and my brother. It's just us, you know, and so he passed October 07. I quit CPS November 07, and packed up my things. In January 2008, I took off over there and just boom right after. So it was kind of tough for a little while because everything was so fresh still.
Okay, but so how does somebody like that, and I'm speaking as a fan, right? How do you I mean, I'm sure you got savings, right? You know, you probably have record labels. You know, some people, the record labels help them or whatever the case may be, but how do you survive, bro? Like, how do you eat?
Well, that's why I was fortunate, because I mean, I had a great job. So I mean, and I had a house. So sold the house, and I actually I mean, I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have been a little smarter, but man, but it's like an opportunity that, like I said, you know, my dad passed away of a heart attack, just gone like that, and you never know when it's your time. So I threw everything into that and trust that God led me the way, you know, my dad too, and would put a path for me. And I sold my house, quit CPS, took out all my retirement. And
so you went over there on bologna and pan and ramen noodles. Like,
I was buying everybody around. No, I was good.
Wow,
No, I was good. Plus playing some gigs back home. You know, I was flying back and forth to play shows and stuff. But yeah, because that was my main thing too. I didn't want to. I already had the interest, the label interest, and everything there. So I didn't want to go there and be that story of like, man, I'm working 2 jobs, and I wanted to focus on my music, and luckily I was able to do that because I had that support of my money from work and everything. So I was able to do that. But like I said, I joined the show right away, so everything just like happened. Boom, just 3 months after I moved there, like got on the show and stuff, you know. And
it just like one thing after another after another.
It was just
Gabe, let me ask you a question, man. And I told you kind of off the air that, you know, I'm really big. The show is really big on our culture, right? Chicano culture, stuff like that. And I was telling you, you know, how I felt about country music, Texas country. You know, to me, it's part of who we are down here, especially in South Texas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I want to ask you a very serious and honest question. In your whole time in Nashville, did you ever think that having the name Gabe Garcia ever held you back from anything? In all honesty.
It wasn't much the name. It wasn't much the name. It was just the, I mean, because that was actually my whole reason labels were looking at me and wanted me, because nobody had been around since Rick Trevino and
Rick.
Rick kept his name, Trevino name.
Yeah,
you know? I mean, you had Emilio, and they were the last really two that actually had some songs on the radio, and so that was one of the main reasons why, because they were after that market again, but it was always just like, man, we love you, this and that, but how do we market you? How do we do this? How do we do that? Like, it was just always that thing, you know. I'm like,
and people, I don't think people understand. I don't think people really get that kind of part of the music, and that's why I love doing these podcasts, is because, you know, I get to ask questions like that, because, you know, we don't know what it's like. Like, we assume, you know, we seen the movie La Bamba, right? Mm-hmm. Or you know, Ricardo Valenzuela turns to Richie Valens. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the name Valenzuela would probably throw some fans off. And to me, I mean, you weren't Texas country, bro. You were mainstream country. Like, you were like George Strait country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're right. Besides Rick Trevino, you know, Freddie Fender, like
Johnny Rod.
You know, Johnny Rod.
Johnny Rodriguez kept his name. I mean, so it wasn't mainly just that. It was just like, I don't know. It's just like nobody had the balls to like do it again. Like everybody was talked about it all the time. We always had meetings about it. But it was like, okay, well, somebody make a move. Like, just, I'm a Hispanic. I mean, I'm a country singer who happens to be Hispanic, so who cares? Nobody's going to know on the radio what the hell I am. They're going to love a song. They're going to make a difference of like, oh, well, he's making, I don't like this song anymore, you know? It's just, but
I mean, Gabe, there is people out there.
Trust me. No, trust me. When I was on the show, I used to read a lot of articles and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of...
Dude, can you imagine... I mean, can you imagine
that's what drove me more, to just prove that people were like,
you read articles. Can you imagine if Facebook was the way Facebook is now, the social media, and you're on Nashville Star? Can you imagine the amount, like, you read articles, you imagine the amount of comments, you know what I mean? With like, you go to, like, when I go to TikTok, do you look at TikTok?
Yeah.
So you go to TikTok and it's like, my wife gets mad because I'll let the video play while I'm reading the comments. She's like, you know, you can pause the damn video and read the comments, right? So, because I watch something that's kind of like off, like, that's not right, and I'm looking for the comments to see what people say. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, not luckily, I shouldn't say luckily, but, you know, you weren't in the time of that. But, yeah, it's just something I wanted to ask, man. You know what I mean? Because, you know, when I hear the name Gabe Garcia, pues, down here, I'm gonna think a certain, you know what I mean? Oh, he's a Tejano artist.
I mean, it did bother, like, so like me and Mario and I would always go. We did a little tour together with the Midnight Rodeos and Wild West and stuff, and and that was a thing.
Mario Flores and Gabe Garcia.
That's why it was like we'd go to those venues and play, and everybody and we were hard to get any people, and the manager sometimes would be like, "Oh, I'm so excited to, you know, we've never had a night like this," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Well, aren't y'all Tejano?" I'm like, oh my god! I was like, not even the manager like did her homework to know what the hell we're doing, you know. And that was like that was what we had to deal with. I mean, that was probably the worst as far as like your question, as far as that, like dealing with that was at venues like that, and that's why, like, you know, I'm kind of like, for 2022, you know, I'm sure we'll get into it later too, like of my view of what I kind of want to change and do in a different market, you know, to try something different.
But you're absolutely right. When you hear your music, I know because I know you, you know what I mean? But if I'm listening to the radio, it doesn't say this is Gabe Garcia's song. I'll just start listening to a song. There's no way, you know what I mean? And, you know, the other thing is, like I told you right in the beginning of the show, first comment I told you was like, you're Texan. from top to bottom, you're Tejano, you're a full blood Texan, and that's what on Nashville started. It was badass, dude, because you know.
Well, that was John Rich's idea.
You were wearing a hat.
He already knew what he was doing. That's how John Rich is a businessman, and that's what he did. He knew I was in town. He already, there was already the buzz that I was there. We were friends. My buddy Bart and Bill, his dad, I wrote for their publishing company, which Bart co-produces John Party now and stuff, and writes a bunch of stuff, his stuff. But they already, I guess, probably mentioned to John that I was in town too, John Rich, and so he already had that bug in his ear, and it was just a light, boom, big time NBC show. Let's get the biggest market that's out there, and that. And that was his thing.
Stop where you're at.
That was
the
his thing.
biggest market. I just had this conversation with one of my best friends this morning about the buying power, what we call the Latino buying power.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And Mr. Rich was a smart son of a bitch. I mean,
but because he would always push that too. He would mention that he always knew to say that in the show, because I remember he would always tell me like Gabe, he's like, you have the opportunity to bridge this gap that hadn't been, this and that, like in that market.
But you did. I mean, that's a great way to great way to look at it, dude. And look, I mean, you paved the way for Mr. De Leon that was on here earlier, the Solis brothers. I've had them on here. Yeah. Great kids, bro. They grew up here in South Texas just like anybody else, but they're not playing accordion music with a bajo sexto. They're playing country music. Yeah. They love it. They sound great. And I'm excited for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited because they're young and they just, they bring that. They're showing another part of our culture.
Yeah. I used to get those emails when I was on the show, like just of what I did and what I opened for a lot of like other Hispanic artists that didn't think they can do something like that, or me being on a major show like that, on a major station like that, and having that opportunity and just to go get up and do it, I would get emails from other artists from all over the place, like, man, like, you just showed me that I can do it too, or, just beat me.
Just right there, Nate's like, Mario and Gabe are OG, some of my biggest inspirations, bro.
No, I mean, it just like, it just showed like no matter what you are, I mean, you go and do it, you can do it. Just like
don't judge anybody by their name, the color of their skin. If they can sing, they can sing.
If you want to do it, go do it. I mean, nobody's holding you back but yourself.
I got you, man.
But I was obviously, given that opportunity, and I'm glad that I was able to do well and do well for us and the heritage and everybody, and that was a big deal, That was
Is it a culture shock, Gabe, leaving South Texas going to Nashville?
Mexican food sucks, but
well, you got to be careful when you say that, because we got people that watch the show from all over the United States. So no, let me tell you, every time I say Mexican food, I'll get messages from my people in Cali, like, bro, why are you lying on your show? No, San Antonio ain't got Mexican food. I said, what do you mean? We got Mexican restaurants. They're like, nah, bro. Y'all are Tejanos. Y'all are Tex-Mex, bro. You eat tacos with flour tortillas, dude. Tacos supposed to be meant with corn tortillas. I'm like, just stop. Just stop.
Well, it was funny, like, too, in San Antonio, though, because it was like the bar that we. So I was managed by, after the show, I was managed by Irv Woolsey, who manages George Strait. He's managed George Strait since the beginning. Mm-hmm. And so that was a big deal after the show, because I was like, the Mexican George Strait, it was like a perfect fit. So we set up a meeting with Irv, and he took me on after. He managed me for 2 years after the show, but he owned this bar called Losers, and that's where like everybody went. That was like the bar that
everybody
hung out. That was the big industry bar, and there was only 2 Mexicanos in there, in that bar. Every time we go hang out in there, it was me and a guy named Ram from Alice, Texas.
What did he do there?
He was in construction.
Did you guys find each other in the bar though?
Yeah, oh yeah. Because we're the only ones that wear cowboy hats in there, and that was a big thing too. Because like you go to Nashville and you think like, oh, country, but everybody wears those Jason Aldean hats.
Yes,
and a black straw hat. I'm like, oh god. And so it was funny. So when you come in wearing
A palm leaf?
a palm leaf or a nice felt. Like people just like, whoa, like let me grab your hat, let me touch your hat, man. And we're almost,
Hey, you don't touch
I almost got in so many fights of that shit. People don't know. Oh my god, for real, seriously, man.
Oh shit, man.
And I don't know if they told you before. My landlord, well, not my landlord, but my roommate, landlord was John Party. So we lived together for 5 years, and when the whole time I was in Nashville.
You live with John Party?
Yeah. So right as soon as I got picked for the show, my buddy that I was living with, he's the one that brought John down to Nashville. He told John to move down. I was, like I said, I was 28. John was 22, and he was like, "Hey, I got this kid from California coming down." He's like, "You need to go take him around and let him meet people and stuff." So I ended up picking him up, and like you were saying, John like started like that way. He moved in with his truck and his dog and everything, and
everything he owns, he's gonna leave it all there.
I picked him up at the house he was at. There was a 2-story house, and probably had I'm gonna meet people in there, and he was in the basement with 3 other roommates down there in the basement, 3 beds down there. And so I picked him up, and we went to the mall, and he wanted to go to the mall, so we went and hung out, and we ended up just connecting and being friends. And
You're like, I'm getting you out of that fucking basement, bro.
Yeah. So we got a townhome, and we moved in we actually moved in like right when I was on the just about to be on the show.
Yeah.
So I had to move all my shit in the townhome, and then I had to pack all my stuff and go to the hotel for the show. So he was my plus one to all the.
Hey, dude, so you don't get to go home at night when you're on the show?
No, we stayed at a hotel. We stayed at the Opera Hotel.
Because they got to have access to you at all times.
Oh, yeah. Because we were doing interviews. We were doing this. We had interview coaches. I mean, a voice coach. We were doing shit all the time. And we had a whole wing to ourselves, but we had a security guard at the beginning of our hallway and at the end of our hallway, because people would always try to go look for us, and media people always try
Wow.
to we couldn't go to the restroom or anywhere unless a producer followed us around. It was nuts, man.
Solis brother sending you some love on the chat, man.
What's up, boys?
Kim, Kim Olsen?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know. I don't know if he knows this. I think she's talking about me, but she put on here, probably doesn't know, but he's but he's my cousin. Okay. Well, we're going to find out how I'm your cousin, Kim. Let's see. Joey Rodriguez, not only is Gabe a good singer, man, you know how to barbecue.
Oh, yeah. We had some good steaks on the rooftop.
Hey, so you would take how we cook barbecue down here, you take it up to Nashville? They don't know nothing about that over there. Nashville.
No, I never would take anything up there. I would just...
But I'm saying the way you barbecue, you wouldn't barbecue in Nashville?
Yeah, we barbecue. Oh, yeah. No, we barbecue up there. But, me and John used to have some big parties at the house.
Dude, so
it was pretty fun.
John Party, the dude is he's big time, big time right now, man.
He's doing good.
And he doesn't remember. Does he remember where he comes from?
Oh yeah, no, he's actually from like Northern California area, so out there Sacramento. But I would bring him down to play shows with me here. We played Stetson Bar. He played Cooters. We played.
Hey, the Raza loves.
Even in Real Medina, we played down there at Spirits, Divine.
Yeah.
Divine, Rick's Dance Hall. We played a little.
Hey, the Raza loves John Party, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well,
He's
a country. And
he had David Lee here at the party, at the rodeo. We brought him up on stage, man.
Yeah.
And
and he would take me up to California with him. So it was cool. We did a bunch of road trips together. But yeah, he loves to come down here for sure, and he always makes it known. Just
that's crazy,
gives me a shout out. Gives me a shout out.
If you're in the show, if you're in the audience, hey, so let me ask: if he plays at the rodeo or plays anywhere at the AT&T Center, whatever, does he say, "Gabe, I'm in town, come hang out"?
I already know he is. Yeah. We still keep in touch. Yeah, and I'll go down there with him. Like I was down there with Joey and David.
And all them when they went down there.
We're down there. Yeah.
Dude, shout out to Joey, bro. He's great people, bro. Great, humble guy, man. He's been David Lee's manager. Shit, I don't know, dude. I don't want to give out your age, Joey. But shout out to Joey Rodriguez, man. Gay people. Let's see. One of your
Joey. I was telling. He was asking me about how I knew like David or met David, and I was telling about the Pack Fest when I was young, when the Texas Wranglers played before y'all did. They were the only country band, and that was my first band right when I was like 17, 18 years old when I joined them. But I was
Puro
that's what I
FFA.
was
Puro
telling you,
corduroy jackets on the
Pack Fest. I was good. I went to school because if not, I wouldn't have gone there. The Pack Fest and Poteet, all of Ascosa County with David Garza and Texas Wranglers.
Oh snap!
Kinda,
hey, Nate was asking you to sing a song. He said it's from your first album. Hey man, this guy has albums, bro. He doesn't have a teleprompter here. I don't know if he remembers it, but he said there's a song called "Say Hello to My Heart."
Oh yeah, that was on my first record. I recorded when I was 17.
Can you jam it?
Yeah.
Well, let's jam it.
Want to do it now?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Play a little bit of it.
There you go.
Oh. Yeah, that's an old school. So this is a big. This is probably one of the ones that kind of got me known in San Antonio. I used to play the Cowboy Bar in Helotes.
He said it got me known in San Antonio.
Nate wouldn't even twinkle in his. Wasn't even in Pampers yet.
Here you go, Nate, just for you, buddy.
So how are things in Fort Worth? You still make the cowbell rodeo, Mansfield Friday nights. Say me still get mad at Joe when he lets go and gets a little tight. Is that old pickup held together? It was always just about to fall apart. Hello, by the way, say hello to my heart. Say hello and mention how I miss it. If I hadn't broken yours, I'd still be there with it. It took all I had to call you. It sounds like I've been rambling, trying to keep you on the line. Well, I haven't. Wow. I've heard you say goodbye before, and I didn't want to hear a word again. I know one conversation, it won't change the world, but it's a start. I'd like to come home, say hello to my home. Lord, I'd like to come home, say hello to my home. Say hello to my home.
Wow.
Little short version now.
Dude, that was badass.
You can tell if you go to that record, it's on my website.
GabeGarciaMusic.com.
Yeah, it's only
Yeah,
that's the only place. That's the only place you can get it.
Yeah, it is. I saw it. You can get the whole album for $9.99.
Yeah.
Hey, so make sure you guys visit www.GabeGarciaMusic.com. You can find that album, that song that he just played on there. That's the only place you can get it. A lot of people are starting to do that now. You know. I mean, it doesn't make me mad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, because I don't have that one on iTunes, so it's I never my dad only made. I never reproduced anymore after my dad. Like my dad made 1,000 CDs back then of those like hand
pressed, like
himself, like did them all.
Do you have some put away still?
Oh yeah, I have some. But so that like people offered my brother like $50 or something
for the
that,
CD
for an album. Yeah, because they love that album. And it's crazy because like you could tell the whole difference in my voice, like from 17 to like now, like on my new
bro.
album.
Your voice is. I mean, your voice is beautiful, bro.
Thanks.
Like la mera neta. Like that was That was a badass jam. Gabe, what is I always ask artists that come, what is your, because you have, I've been listening to your stuff like almost all day today, all day yesterday. Do you have a song that like it's just it's 100% Gabe Garcia?
Probably I Don't Want to Know on my Shot Glass record.
That one,
yeah, because that was a great record too, great sounding record, and that's probably like one of my staple songs that people besides "Country Looks Good on You" or "Missing."
Country Looks Good on You and Missing You are like the two.
Like probably I Don't Want to Know and "Country Looks Good on You" are like my main songs that people would be like, oh yeah, that's Gabe, that's all Gabe right there, and it's a good vocal song that showcases the vocal too and stuff. It's just overall.
Yeah, people are all over your vocals right now. Like his music is amazing, man.
Thanks.
Gabe, right now that you know you're here, you know, on my podcast, you know, I'm in awe, man. You know, of where you've been, what you've done, and what you're gonna do. Do you see yourself going back on being back on the road, like on a tour? Or, I mean, is that something that you would want to do, or you kind of like where you're at right now?
No, yeah. I mean, I just I'm never gonna give up on that. Like, you know, I know the industry's so crazy, and I mean, it's changed. I mean, it's just I'm still trying to figure it out, kind of in a way too, because I mean, also like, you know, and I don't want to like discourage people or other artists trying to do it, or you know, because I mean, anything can happen with anybody, no matter what you do. Because just like me, I mean, I got a call from dad. I didn't go to Nashville. Like that was another thing too that a lot of people would write on those damn
the message boards and stuff.
Yeah, like just like, oh, he just made it because he's on the show. Or I'm like, dude, I've been playing in bands since I was goddamn 17.
But see, that's the thing. People don't know the work that you put in. You know what I mean?
There was people on the show that never had a band. Like that was their first time on stage, like doing stuff. I mean, it was like, dude, I've been like coming here. You know, you don't want to go fight with everybody, but it's a business. You know, it's a business too. And like right now, like the last album. You know, and I'll share everything. I don't care, because I mean it's what's going on, and that's what people are. You know, because people don't know. They think you can just go to Nashville and then you're a big star. You know, like it doesn't work that way all the time, and the industry changes so much to what's now, and like I mean, like you were saying about TikTok, like and that's the big thing now. So like my latest record. Before I released it on my own, among the label, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go shoot it to a couple buddies at some labels that have been around for a while, and they're old school guys. They know I've been at this for a long time,
right? And
shooting for that mainstream, not the mainstream sound, but the mainstream like have a
mainstream market.
You know, the same 20 songs on the radio. You know, I want one of those spots.
Yeah, I got you.
I need one of those spots. It's like the only thing that I'm kind of. I've been on the radio. I've been on a lot of stations, but it's like I want, you know, that major market, like you know, like John.
Yeah.
I want that spot too, you know. But that's 20 spots you're fighting for, you know. So you gotta like really, I don't. It's just.
Are you
like how you gonna get there? You know. So, you know, with me, you know, it seems like everybody's kind of getting. It's just a confusing market. I'm serious.
It is. Social media is a blessing, and it's also cannot be. You know what I mean?
So what I did with the record, I sent it to my buddies that were like, now he's like one of the big dogs at Sony and stuff now, and this and another guy at Warner. I sent it to them, and the response I got from them from two major labels was that, man, we you know, we love what you're doing, but you're better off doing it on your own. Because it's all about numbers now. It's all about how many TikTok and Instagram followers you have. I'm like, wow, really? That's what like coming from two
right. You're coming at them old school country way, and they're telling you, hey man, thank you for that hard work, but if you don't have a TikTok following or an Instagram following, we can't do nothing for you because the numbers are there. right? It's a win-win for them. They
they don't have to do anything.
You
They just
got
wanna-
5 million followers. They already know. Well, there's 5 million. There's 5 million people in
but then I'm like, well, what the hell I need them for? You know, if I'm gonna do that, like, it really just depends on what you want to do. You know, if you want to become something like that with the numbers and have the numbers and make the money on your own and be that, hell, I mean,
do it.
it's kind of actually like a
Can you do it?
A better thing.
Can you do it, Gabe?
Yeah, I mean, but everything costs money nowadays too. Everything costs because that's the thing that you gotta figure out. You know, if you have the funding or if you have a backer or somebody that like
An investor.
because like I mean that costs a lot of money too. Because that's stuff that you're gonna have to do on your own that a label has. That's why it's kind of hard to figure that out. Okay, well I'm gonna go to the label, but I'm gonna give them 100% of my stuff, but they got everything. And they don't have to worry about all you got to do is play. And even though they're going to take all the work you've done and what you've built for yourself and give it away, you know?
Wow.
So it kind of just really depends on what you want to do with it. I mean, because if I was making pretty good money and had a huge following, I mean, that'd be tough to just to give that up, you know?
Oh no,
So
definitely, definitely.
it's kind of like, I think it's a moment thing of when you build something of like, okay, well, what do I want to do? Like, damn, I keep just stay on my own and keep, you know, doing well, or do you want to go and give it up and do that thing? It's a tough.
It's one of those damn if you do and damn if you don't.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's
Hey, Raulito Navaira's on
it's
here.
a tough one, man. But that's how the business works now, and I mean, like I said, firsthand from two major
Labels.
It's like,
Yeah.
come on, man, like. So I don't know. I still want to go cut a few more songs and still go knock on those doors and just to.
It's not like.
Well, also
I don't want to ask it in that sense, but it's the simplest way I can ask it. So if John Party's on a tour, you can't say, John, let me do it.
It's all political. It's all political.
So he has no say so in that, pretty much.
I'm sure he can if he wants. I mean, but I don't want to go there.
Yeah, no. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You don't want to be. You're not going to be like, hey, bro, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
that would probably be a conversation that him and I would have to have, like, you know, amongst each
yeah,
other.
yeah, no. And that's I'm not asking it like in a bad way. You know what I mean? I'm just
I know.
asking, like,
Yeah. But I mean, but I know, I already know, like, it's not going to be his decision, you know. It's going to be, I mean, it's going to go to the label.
yeah, and for the people
everything.
watching, like,
it's not just
it's like you're saying though. There's so much stuff that happens in the music business to the everyday person. We have no idea.
yeah.
We have no idea that, you know what I mean, that all these people have to have their hand in the pot and this, that, or the other. But bro, you have a lot of people, who love your music for sure.
Like when I was with my label back with Average Joe's Entertainment, it was me. Their main thing was like the whole country hip hop. That's all. They're the ones that's created this whole
Big and Rich.
No.
Cool.
Average Joe's Entertainment.
Oh, Average Joe's Entertainment. Okay.
So they're based out of Nashville and Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
But they're the ones that created the whole. Because I was there when it all transformed to the whole Florida Georgia line crap and all that stuff. Like it just. I watched the town like change.
Can I
from
ask
what
you
it
a
used to
question?
be. Yeah. What?
Is Gabe Garcia a fan of Florida Georgia Line?
I love some of their stuff, but it's just but as far as like being like busting your ass and then like just watch it off like just be taken away in a way because so I was on the label I was opening up for Colt Ford. Colt Ford is like the main guy that's created that whole thing. Dirt Road Anthem was the song that changed it all with Jason Aldean, you know, because they had that little rap thing in there, and that's what kind of freaked out everybody. Like, oh shit, what the hell is this? And I mean, because if you look at radio writers now, artists, they're all from the Georgia area. They're all from that area. It's like if I tell people it's like if all of us Texas artists went to Nashville and just took over Nashville, and it was gonna be the whole Texas sound. But you right now it's basically all the whole Florida Georgia, all the writers, all the artists.
They've taken over Nashville.
Yeah, and so I was there.
Hey, that's interesting.
No, it's true. Cause so because when I was with Average Joe's, it was me, Kevin Fowler, and Montgomery Gentry were the only country artists on that label, and that's when Fowler released his only national song. These guys, That Girl, That Girl, in a sundress. So he that was his song, and I was supposed to be released on the next single. So, but right when that was about to happen, I already had John Rich produced a record with me. It was ready to go, album done, single gonna come out. Boom! That's when it all flip flopped.
Like we don't want this anymore.
I'm obsolete. Country music is obsolete, and it was like because that's when all the Florida Georgia Line stuff and all that started hitting radio, and it was just like, no, this is what we want. This is what the young crowd is listening. Everybody's all into the whole hip hops in the truck, beer can thing, and so I was like, well, shit. I mean, it seriously like changed the whole town, not just me, but the whole thing, because a lot of writers that actually wrote really great songs that make you want to drink, cry, whatever. They moved out of town. They couldn't get songs cut because these guys are like older dudes that wrote a shitload of hits, still writing great songs and getting cuts, until just like boom, you're cut off. Like now, bro,
it was like you were the next right there in line. They're like, dude, hey, we're gonna go ahead and close this door. Sorry, bro, you didn't make it in.
Now like how bitter like towards that market.
So what happens to that album?
Like, damn, like
Gabe, what happened? There. What happened to that album?
Well, the label gave it back to me. So the label were like, you know what, like we'll give you you don't have to pay us back from the album, but if you release it, then we'll take they'll take their percentage, which was fine, which I didn't care, but they were gonna release me, but they were just gonna give me the whole project, but I kind of wanted to keep my ties with John, with Rich and everybody else. I wanted to start fresh, and John wanted me to go to another label and this and that, but I kind of didn't want to step backwards. I wanted to go, because these were independent labels. They're big independent labels, but I wanted to be in with the major labels, and so John was kind of, it was in the right direction where I didn't want to go. So that's when I moved back to Texas, and I recut a bunch of the songs that were on that album, and some more songs that I wrote, and released the Missing album. So under my label with my buddy Jody Redlich from Dallas. So
somebody wants me to ask you this question. Gabe Garcia, what is the best country song ever written?
There's so many.
But you can only pick one, bro.
I can't. I don't know, man. Because people always ask me like, "Where's the best place you ever played?" Or "Where's this?" I can't. I never answer.
You can't.
It's just.
Let me ask you this, Gabe. What's the most people you ever played for?
Shit, I don't know. Probably. Well, I would say maybe about 12,000, maybe somewhere around there.
And that was like and that
was an FFA.
Was it one of those FFA conferences, the national conference?
Yeah.
Oh hell!
12,000, and then I did 10,000 in Lytle for my own little show.
For your show in Lytle.
But I mean, I guess you can say, millions from TV, guys.
Yeah, no. I mean, like I said, I saw you in California. I mean, there's people watching you here. Shout out to Lisa Flores and everybody in Ruskin, Florida. Shout out to Raulito Navaira. He said, "What's up, bro?" He's watching. Let's see. Lydia Castillo's watching.
What was it? Melbourne or something? Something.
Melbourne, Florida.
Yeah. So Melbourne, Florida. So that was a crazy thing. Because I've never played down there.
That's a country place.
Well, that's crazy. So a friend of mine, he was DJing. He's from Nashville, and he would DJ at different cities. And he sent me. I was sponsored with Anheuser-Busch with Bud Light at the time, and it was so freaking random. He sends me a picture. He's DJing at this bar in Melbourne, and they had a big old huge banner with Bud Light, my face, my name, and everything. I'm like, I never been this place.
Hey, and it was even autographed. It was autographed.
I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh,
I was like, I guess I need to go play down there.
Hell yeah, man.
Hey, somebody knows me over there.
Gabe, you want to jam another one, bro?
Yeah, sure.
Whatever. Let's do this. I won't even look at the chat. Let's do one that you want to do.
How about I play the one with the one I did with Ram and David Lee?
Let's do it. Hell yeah.
So, you want to talk
Oh
about
yeah,
that
talk
before?
about it. Let's talk about it before you jam it.
I had the song that I've had in the vault for a long time, and it was written by Kevin Denny. Kevin Denny had a couple singles. I don't remember that song. Well, that's just Jesse. Remember that old '90s song? Sometimes in the morning,
Yeah.
if it gets ice cold. But so he wrote a bunch of great songs too, and so I've always had this song, and it was kind of like that train beat thing, and it was kind of a cool. I could hear. So when I always wanted to record it, so on this current album, I was like, man, I hear accordion in there. I hear it'd be cool to do, Tex-Mex thing or something like that, and so I hit up Joey, and I was like, hey, it's like, ask David if he'd play on it with me, and then I was thinking about, Tejano. I was going to ask Rick Trevino, and I was like, maybe or see if Johnny Rado want to do it, and but I was like, no, I think it'd be cool to have another Tejano guy on here. So I asked Joey. I was like, man, ask Ram, see if they do it. So yeah, they've always been fans of mine too. And
Yeah,
I thought it'd be badass to do, and
those are Tejano legends,
yeah,
bro.
and also hit that market too.
Yeah.
That song and it's the top stream song on that album. And it's just crazy how that just blew.
And
up.
it was something that you just like put together, like, hey man, let's try it.
Came off badass too, and people always request it and love that song. So here we go. I left the night you left me. I've been gone now for a while. Been piling round with the blues, drinking like it's gone out of style. Didn't take a car, didn't take a bus, didn't take a plane. I've just been laying low, trying to get over this pain. 1,000 times I thought it over. I told myself I was over you. Never been this far gone before. I don't know where some roads headed to. Feel just like a lonesome whistle blowing down a one-way track. Yeah, you're the one that's gone, but I'm the one that ain't coming back. I sleep down on the sofa, but I can't say that I really rest. I get to work late every morning. The boss says I'm mixed up bad. I burned up your letters, I threw away your picture, tore that phone off the wall. But I would have torn up my pride if only you would have called. 1,000 times I thought it over, told myself I was over you. Never been this far gone before. I don't know where some roads headed to. Feel just like a lonesome whistle blowing down a one-way track. Yeah, you're the one that's gone, but I'm the one that ain't
Damn. I guess I gotta turn it up. Hey. Man, that sounded clean, dude. Oh man, that's so awesome, bro. Gabe, it's crazy, dude. As you were singing, I was just again going back to living in San Clemente, California, and sitting there and still in my what we call our camis, right? You know, our camouflage uniform, with my boots off, on my lazy boy, my boot socks still on. You know what I mean? Wife's cooking dinner, and you know we're on the West Coast, so
Yeah.
you know it comes in. It's pretty early. You know what I mean? And now to see you sitting here next to me in you know in the studio, it's freaking just crazy, man. It's freaking crazy, dude. Let's see. We got some questions, and I told Gabe, I'm the worst at looking at comments just because it's just me. So, but I'm gonna peep over here. He says, "Damn, sounds like there's a band in there." That's how good it sounds. $1 million voice, man. Grammy time for sure. Mike Bueno wants to know, what era influenced you? What era of music?
90s, because I'm like I said, I'm 42, so I was
Garth Brooks, George Strait.
yeah, Garth Brooks. I mean, all the 90s country stuff. John Michael Montgomery. If they go to my shows, like that's all any cover I do is not going to be any. I don't play any top 40 stuff. It's all either my stuff or
old school stuff.
Or old school stuff. That's all I do. And cause people always like, can you play this? I'm like, no, I don't know. I don't even play a John Party song.
Dude, no, hey, but you know what, bro? I mean, what's great is like you stick to your guns because that's who you are. You know what I mean? You're not gonna play something that you don't like playing. Let's see. Well, he just answered all three questions, man. He's like, what did he listen to? So did you always listen to country? Or did you listen to everything?
Nah, man, I started off with my dad bought me an electric drum set. I was at my grandparents' when I was little. I was always banging on the buckets, and all the white buckets there. And my dad bought me a electric drum set, and shit, I was playing along with. I had my earphones and playing along with like Silverchair and Toadies and Metallica and. And I was in all different phases, man. And then after that, I got into well, I think it might have been before that. I got into my lowrider phase, and I was the only little lowrider in Lytle. I was running around with my lowrider bike, my old Schwinn.
Yeah, you fixed it.
Yeah, I still have it. Put the white wall, 18-inch, the white walls with the.
Dude,
I was listening to Ice-T, Ice Cube.
NWA,
NWA, Cypress Hill, I mean everything. I listen to everything, but my brother sang country, and he was like I said, my dad was in the city council, and so my brother was the one doing all the singing at the events and stuff, and then,
right.
And then he went off to college and left the guitar there. He tried to learn it, and he went to college and didn't have time, so he left it there at the house, and I picked it up myself. And my uncles would always play guitars like at our barbecues and stuff like that, messing around. And so, I picked up the guitar, and my uncle gave me a book and taught myself, and I started doing the country and all that.
Let me ask you, being from Lytle, playing the guitar, being a musician, San Antonio, I mean, Lytle is pretty much San Antonio, you know, vicinity of San Antonio. Did you ever think that you would go on the Tejano market?
Well, I mean...
Because I'm going to tell you, like 50% of Tejano artists don't speak Spanish.
Yeah,
a lot. I mean, I'm not saying
I didn't go in there as far as like a Tejano guy, but I mean, I respected of what I do, and every time I get invited to go play with these guys, like you know, like with Caesar, you know,
hell yeah.
I was on the Gary Hobbs cruise to do my country, you know. I was the only country guy. Just recently, you know, last year, you know, it was with Chente and Gato Negro and David and. Sonny Sase, all these other guys, and I was the only country guy, you know. I mean, the Mexicanos, they live both, you know. And that's what I was talking to Joey about, maybe possibly doing some stuff this year with David and opening, you know, getting on some of those runs with David and
Mixing
Ram.
it up.
And I mean,
You'll
because-
fit in, dude.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I already am pretty much, so it makes more sense to focus in that market. And the Dominicanos always been my biggest supporters. You know, like I said, when me and Mario used to go to those, you know, those Western clubs, nobody would come. You know, so.
But Raza would show up.
Oh yeah, no, I mean pretty much.
But Gabe, let me
like,
tell you, we see it as this. We'll see it as this. It's one of those. I say this on the show all the time. We pump our chest like, hey, that's one of us, dude.
Yeah.
That's one of us jamming. You know, something that is not normal, and not that it's not normal, but it's not something you see a lot of. You know what I mean?
That's why, like, you know, I've been grateful to be, have been embraced by that, you know, by that market, and like, I mean, shit, the song got David and Ram on it. You know, it's like, I mean,
Two Tejano legends,
makes
bro,
sense,
in
you
one
know,
song.
Like, you know, I would tell my mom and stuff. I was like, is it kind of weird, like, you know, because me growing up, you know, I was, you know, laying down in the 2 chairs with a blanket and a jacket at the quinceañeras or the weddings,
The weddings.
or whatever.
Oh, bro.
And her and my dad dancing to these all these artists that they always looked up to, and they, you know, were like they're the big, you know, they were huge.
And now they're your homies.
Yeah,
Bro, that's so
like,
awesome that you say that, because I think so many people can relate to the 2 chairs, you know what I mean? And then your dad's coat or your mom's sweater laying over you. Hey, where's the kid? Oh, he's over there. And then if they had the long, you know, the kids that had the long fancy table covers, they disappeared. They're gone, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I always thought, isn't it kind of weird? Like, you know, like now I'm getting invited by all these guys to
play.
I go get up and sing with them. Like,
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like nothing, you know.
No, I
So
gave.
it's kind of it's kind of cool, you know, just to kind of, you know, I grew up, you know, it's just nuts, you know, just to think that.
It's part of who you are, dude. Honestly, I mean, you grew up here. It's part of growing up here in South Texas, and you know, just what I find so interesting, and I think everybody watching does, is the fact of, you know, you taking on country music, and you're right. Like, I mean, the names are on one hand, bro. That I could name. You know what I mean? That even tried to.
Yeah, like even before I moved there, like I said, it was really happening there. The labels knew. I mean, everybody's known. They've been wanting that for a long time, but you can't just throw anybody out there, like, just because they're Mexicano or whatever. John Rich used to try to do it. He knew what was going on. That's why he called me, you know, but before he had this other artist that wasn't even Mexicano, he was like Puerto Rican or something, but just because he was brown, he had a ponytail and had a song that John Rich wrote called Fuego. I mean, he tried to get me to record it. I'm like, no, that's not.
That's not me,
dude. That's not what we want. What we want. The Mexican people are like you're saying. That also we're cowboy hats. We're George Strait lovers, man.
Yeah,
we wanna
starch
dance,
jeans,
you know?
freaking boots.
They're from the rancho, you know. Like, I mean, you can't just throw. I mean, they'd be eaten up alive, and we won't get it. We won't accept that. Like, this is not what they're looking for.
Let me ask you: have you seen on TikTok? I said this the other day. On TikTok, there's a couple. They're a couple. They're actually from Florida, right? So there's a couple and what they do is they take popular country songs, a lot of the slower songs, and they start singing them in country, and they're a duo, like they, you know what I mean?
Like a duet.
Yeah, like a duet kind of thing, right? One's playing the guitar, and they start singing, and it's you're like, oh, okay, I know that song, and then all of a sudden they switch, boom. All the lyrics are in Spanish.
All right.
Right. So they started doing this, like you said, and people are doing it on TikTok. They started doing it on TikTok. Well, dude, guess where they made it? They made it to the Grand Ole Opry.
Wow.
And while they were the Grand Ole.
That's my whole point. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, I don't want to be discouraging of what I say because that's my path.
That's your path.
And
Doesn't mean everybody's gonna have the same
that's what I'm
path.
saying. I mean, don't say just because I said 2 label guys said that. Like, I mean, anybody. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? You know, I mean, that's why the industry is so crazy right now, because you never know what the hell is like gonna make you fucking
next week. Next week it could change to something else, dude.
Yeah, it's just I mean, who knows? So, you know, just do your thing and I mean, just follow whatever you believe and do it. You know.
So these guys go up on the Grand Ole Opry, and they were like, "Hey, you guys might know us. You know what I mean? You follow us. If y'all know who TikTok is, whatever."
And you would think at the Opry, like, it's more older people.
Yeah,
like,
they're gonna be like, "What the hell are you talking about TikTok?" They're like, "Well, we would like to sing a song in Spanish if that's all right."
Yeah.
And it's like a dead quiet, bro. And then all of a sudden, you hear the people start clapping, like, "Let's do it, dude!" They sing this song, magical.
Yeah.
Like, just it was cool. And for me, to hear some Spanish being played on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry.
Mm-hmm.
It's, to me, again, it's one of those, like, we're here. We're, you know what I mean? We're starting to slowly get going.
And they get it. Like I said, they get it. And it was just like, it's just getting that one person or whoever's going to, or, you know, and that's what I'm still kind of trying to figure out, but trying to see. I'm doing my homework at the same time.
Right.
Trying to figure it out to kind of, because.
What do you say when they call you a Texas country artist?
I mean, I don't care what they call me. I mean,
call me whatever you want. Just say play my music.
I do my. I mean, because most of my life and my career has been in Nashville, so it's kind of, you know, I've kind of grew up in that
realm,
that deal, you know, and learned a lot from that. And I mean, I was back then too in Nashville, and Texas had their battle, you know, and
right.
Oh, fuck Nashville, blah blah blah. You know, like when Pat Green and
hey, dude, it was literally like the whole rap East Coast versus West Coast, Nashville versus Texas, and dude, you know, I'll be honest with you, I was telling the Solis brothers, Nate, like, I didn't understand the gravity of Texas country music until maybe 2004. 2005, when I came and my brother's like, "Hey, bro, listen to this guy." My little brother Edward, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this? Like, who's this? I don't know who this is." It was this Randy Rogers. Check him out. And I started listening to the songs, and I'm like, "Bro, this is kind of, check out Cross Canadian Ragweed, check out Kevin Fowler," and I was just like, okay, and it grew on me. Yeah. It grew on me. And then, you know what, dude? I just remember I told you I stopped listening to country music. If it wasn't from 1999 back, you know, I kind of stay. So my question, Gabe, is, what is your take on that? Like what's your, how do you see the red dirt scene or the Texas country music scene?
I mean, I grew up with all those guys too. So and that's what, like, but they knew. I mean, the guys that know me, they know. I would run into those guys in Nashville too, because there was like the whole Nashville, Texas, but a lot of those guys went up there to go right under the radar, you know, like they wouldn't. I mean, you
didn't see me here, bro.
I already knew. So I mean, it was never like anything like, that I didn't want to be here, but my main focus was Nashville, you know, because that's where I grew up. I mean, since I was 14, already Nashville, so I was already in that, and I was looking at the big picture, you know. That's like coming to, I didn't have anything against Texas because I always played down here. I still would come and open up shows for Kevin or for people, you know, for Randy and stuff. But it was just I knew my goal was to keep the Nashville thing, you know, like keep that going.
It's still within your reach. It's still
the caliber and the whole thing. That was, you know, kind of what I grew up with and doing, and meeting with the labels and everything, the songs, the writing, the songwriters I wrote with up there, you know, that I've written shitload of hits, the things you learn, you know, it's like, you know, a lot of these guys, you know, ask me about songs and writing and stuff, and Clay Hollis, you know, he's recorded like 5 of my songs or so, and, you know, Mario's recorded one, what were we talking about earlier, Michael Salgado, he recorded one of my country songs too.
Wow.
Yeah, that one, not the Honky Tonks one, but it's called She Got One Hell of a Memory.
One Hell of a Memory. Hell yeah.
I wrote that one back in, I don't even know what year that one was.
How long did it take you to write that song? I never would have known that. One Hell of a Memory, written by Gabe Garcia, that Michael Salgado made.
Yeah, me and Rick Orozco. I don't know if you remember Rick Orozco. So he was actually a guy that actually tried it too in Nashville. Like,
dude, the only guys I knew in Beeville were Jerry and the Roughnecks, Joel Nava and the Border, You know those guys?
But so, yeah, oh yeah. No, I know that. But like Rick Orozco was one of the like guys that went up to Nashville and tried the whole thing like that too, and he had a record. He had a record deal, and but it was hard for him too, but he actually wrote. So the songs that we did with One Hell of Memory. You know, if you look up on iTunes, there's a whole album that was based on this documentary that Rick produced and did, but it never was released. The documentary, I'm sure you could probably find it somewhere. But we did a whole album for it, and it was all about like his take and of how Hispanics in country. I mean, he did a whole interview with artists that tried and went and did this and that, and how country and Tejano collide, like how people always mix Mexican words, or like George Strait always has the gut string in there, and the songs, like just how everything influences and meshes together and stuff like that. And it was a really cool documentary, and
you can find it on YouTube.
I'm sure you could probably find it. I'm sure if it's kind of like This Is My Country, Fiddles and Accordions, or something like that.
I gotta check it out because I like watching stuff like that.
But if you go to my iTunes, just scroll all the way past my songs, and there's those two songs that are on that soundtrack. I actually did a full Spanish one on there too. I did 2 songs on that soundtrack, and you'll see the label and the cover, and you could probably Google it and try to see if it's out there. But it's a really good documentary.
You keep saying, you know, how Tejano influences, and, you know, a lot of people who watch Wacky Wednesday, this is your first time watching. I haven't said that all night. This is your first time watching. Well, welcome to the show. My name is Bumper Gomez, and, you know, I do this podcast every single Wednesday live right here from the studio. And you know, I've been on a long run of Tejano artists, and I love it. But I like to throw in some country in there because it is who we are. It's who we are down here in South Texas, and it's part of our culture. And having Gabe here, for me, is just, again, I'm still in amazement just because, you know, I remember watching him on TV, and now the guy's sitting right here next to me, you know what I mean, jamming some songs. And I know a lot of you guys want to hear a lot of music, and I'll get them to play a few songs, but there's a lot of stuff I want to get to know about Gabe. And, you know, one of them being, Gabe, what is your favorite George Strait song? You got to have one.
It's a tough one too, yeah. Cause and that's I guess how I base my songs too, is by like either liking them or
what mood you're in,
or something that I can sing, like that's gonna showcase my voice, like
right.
With one, you know, like I always do. I mean, I love singing Troubadour. Troubadour's a good one, but I love his old school stuff too. You know, like I always I do. What a rotten day this turned out to be. I still can't believe she leaves so easily. She just got all her things threw into a pile, and she loaded her car and said after a while, she'd done this before, but this time she didn't cry. That's why I'm sitting on the front steps, staring down the road, wondering if she'll come back. This time I don't know. After she packed, she looked back. There were no tears in her eyes. That's got me worried, thinking, baby, my baby's gotten good at goodbye. That's a new one that I've been doing for a while now. Like lately, like
playing that one.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah,
people love that. That's one of my, my top 3
and
favorite.
I see everybody just singing it.
Yeah, that's a top 3 favorite of mine that George Strait sings. Have you ever met him, Gabe?
Yeah, met him a few times, and I used to run around with his nephews a lot too. and we used to, because one of his nephews lived in Nashville for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He was like managing. He actually kind of started John Wolf going and stuff like that. So his name was Trey Strait, and he was living in Nashville for a while. We used to run around a lot, and I'd always go out to the ranch down in Big Wells, down to the ranch and stuff, and hang out. But yeah, I met him a few times. But and then just being in that George Strait circle, being with the management, so that was a lot of.
But
that was a lot of imagine the perks.
Let me take you away from the circle thing, and I want Gabe Garcia from Lytle, Texas. First time you ever had a conversation with George Strait.
It wasn't really much a conversation. It was more of just
what's up?
Hey, like took a picture with him. Hey,
yeah.
Shook his hand. Told him I'm from Lytle and stuff like that. But that's the only times I've kind of like really. I've never had sat down. I always maybe one day it will happen again.
Yeah,
and it'll happen. But he's pretty hard to get a hold of.
He's not a very tall guy though.
No. We're about the same height. I might be like an inch taller, but just like when he would come to Nashville, like it was like Elvis is in town. Like seriously, it was like people were just like George in town, and it was like
everything stops.
Well, like everybody's trying to find George. Like
where is he?
See if you see him. And he was always cognito, or he had a little place he would stay at and stuff. And it was just like finding Waldo, like find George. Find George, like dude, seriously, that's what it was nuts.
Wow!
When you knew George was in town, everybody was just talking about it. George is in town, like.
But you hung out with his nephew, so you could just tell him where's he at.
And that's why too, like everybody would go to Losers, the bar, to Irv's bar, because his management's there. Everybody always thought like
he'll show up here.
He's gonna come have a beer, like, and there'll be people sitting there all day trying to wait and see if he shows up, but. Oh, it was pretty funny. He
seems like a very quiet guy. Like you know what I mean? He's not a very, I don't know. Me from the outside looking, he just looked like a very, not in a bad way, but he's not very like, he's not about big old parties. And it's kind of like just chilling and drinking his código. What is it? Código tequila. Have you tried it?
Oh, yeah. I bottled that.
You like it?
Yeah, I'm not a big tequila guy, but I drink because it was George's.
Yeah. What's your favorite? What's your favorite?
Well, I think I had the añejo one.
But what's your favorite? Do you like
drink?
Whiskey?
A little both. I'm sponsored by Rebecca Creek Whiskey.
Oh shit, he's.
I gotta mention that.
There you go. Shout out to Rebecca Creek. Yeah, and speaking about shout outs, man, I know we're interviewing Gabe Garcia, but I want to give a quick shout out to a few people, man. I found this place called Slim Sports Bar. And it's at 1006 VFW Boulevard in San Antonio. And we were treated with this hospitality like no other. Shout out to DJ Bad Boy Al and DJ Bad Boy Josh. I think it's a father and son team. But man, I'd never been to this place, dude. And
what's it called?
It's called Slim Sports Bar in 1006 VFW Boulevard. They're just getting it started. They got a regular crowd there.
Where's that?
And it's like on the southeast side.
Okay.
South Cross 37, that kind of area down there. But dude, it was cool. Like it was a big old school dance hall, had a big dance floor. And just the people, the owner, everybody was just really, really cool, man. And so it's gonna be a new spot. If you like Tejano music and live music, we got invited by the Conjunto Cats, man.
Oh, cool.
From Seguin. And they were playing, so we went out to support them down there. So shout out to everybody there at Slim's, man. It's gonna be like the Beer Depot and some other places, man. And one more big shout out I want to give to is I guess I'll pick this one. Ladies' Night I'm sporting their shirt tonight. The bar at City Base, man. If you've never been to the bar at City Base, you need to go check them out. They will take care of you down there. It's always a good time. They have outdoor, indoor. They always got all kinds of music playing. Always have badass drink specials. So go see my people down at the bar at City Base. They'd love to see you guys. Gabe, you got people singing your songs in Florida right now, bro.
In Florida?
In Florida, yeah. Oh. And to top it off, they're Puerto Ricans at that. And they're singing to the top of their lungs. So shout out to my buddy Noel and Ria Santiago. Thanks, down there in Florida, man. So, oh shit, my bad, Joseph Vega. We'll give you a shout out, bro. Shout out to Joseph Vega.
What's up? I was trying to find this article.
Articles.
So this was back. So I know I saved it. I'm trying to see if. So it was Mike Duggan, who is actually like the main guy of Universal right now and stuff like that. But this was like in 2007. I was trying to find where he was talking about. This was like back then too, like the whole thing of trying to find Hispanic artists,
Right.
like that. But I'll have to scroll through here. I know.
So Gabe, you keep going back to that, right? Like the Hispanic artists in the country market. Do you?
Yeah.
And again, like we said, we can count on one hand. You know what I mean? How many have made it? Do you see it in the future? That's a serious question.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I haven't really given up because I'm still like that spot's still available, and like I said, it's those opportunities. But I think God has His timing, everything too. You know, because it's like yeah, I've achieved like I tell people like, man, I still have like I right now because I always get people to ask me a question too, like what are you doing? Like, where you, like, what's your goal? What's your, like, what do you, like, what are you trying to do? Or like, I'm like, I've done a lot. Like,
what do you mean?
I'm like, well, shit. Like I mean, where else? I mean, not saying where else can I go, but it's like what do you mean? Like, what, like, I mean, I've had, you know, I have songs on the radio. I mean, I've gone to different countries. I played you know, I've played in London. I've played in France.
How was that, bro?
That's pretty cool. France, there was a rodeo in France, and they would invite a couple American artists, and there was another artist like from Belgium. And
when you say rodeo, are they like rodeo, cowboy boots, cowboy hats, and
oh, they love it, man. They go nuts. I was wearing my Stetson hat, and they thought I was like freaking like God, like this freaking like. I mean, I could just imagine how much because like they had like a market out there. Like $19 Wranglers that you buy here, like $150 for.
So there you go. If you're an entrepreneur, go to the Cavenders, buy up all the Wranglers and fly across the ocean.
Yeah, buy a bunch of Stetson hats and freaking probably sell for $3,000. But no, yeah, it was just they're just so fascinated with the Western culture and so the rodeo was kind of cool too because there was actually a lot of Americans that would go up there to do the help with this rodeo and it's called Equa Blues. Fowler's done it. A bunch of artists have done it, like from Texas and stuff. And but they saw me on the show, and you know, people knew me. It was like during that time, and the rodeo has a lot of people from the Disneyland Paris, from Paris. So a lot of they have a big in Paris. They have a Disneyland, and they have a big Wild West show, and Annie Oakley and stuff, and a lot of the ones in the show are from like Arizona. Like Texas, everywhere, like the Indians, like they have a whole like chuck wagon. I mean,
it's legit, a full out legit show,
1,200 seat theater, like big old huge arena.
Oh, I mean, so it's a real deal. Like
they're hauling ass on stagecoaches, and I mean it's pretty awesome. So a lot of those guys, when they're not doing the show, they go and do this rodeo, and but the rodeo is announced in French and English, and what they do is it's like an exhibition. Like the people be in the audience, and they're just the guys like. Okay, this cowboy's gonna get on the bull and try to stay on for 8 seconds, and like he has to like tell everything like what's going on. Like, but then, so
he's explaining everything. Yeah.
So people are just like, wow, like this, it's so crazy, nuts. Yeah, and so like I learned some before I went. I had wrote them on a piece of paper too. I learned some French words and stuff like Santini's cheers and stuff like a bunch of different stuff and just
trying to get
I was
the
singing my English and they were French people that I guess they knew or didn't know what I was saying, but I don't mean they loved it.
You know what, Gabe? It's weird that you say that because I had little Joe here, and he's played in Japan, and you ask yourself, how in the hell do these people like I'm picturing myself as an American, right? And a Japanese band shows up and they're playing at the Market Square. Like I'm not gonna go down there and be like, "This is cool," like you know what I mean. But I think we're like one of the only cultures, American culture, right? Yeah. That's like that because across the water, dude, they're open to everything. Like music's music, you know what I mean?
Europe. A lot of artists go up to Europe to and they're big stars over there. Like I have some buddies that were in Nashville that were big writers. They were artists, but they didn't have the look, as to be an artist.
Right.
So, but they would go to Europe and go play. They didn't give a shit because they just loved the music.
Right.
And they were like in the European Country Awards or whatever, like Canadian Country Awards. Like
wow.
they were like
See, I didn't even know that
big,
exists.
Big hits down there. Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of, and I've always wanted to do that. I just really haven't gotten in with anybody to book me in a bunch of stuff. Like I would love to go play overseas and do that. I was like, shit, I might be a star over there now.
Hey, so it's like the NBA, like the basketball players, they go play in Italy and all these other places. It's like anything else, but yeah, I just find that really, really cool that, across the water, anywhere besides here, man, people are really open to listening to other music.
If like later on after the show, I'll show you. You can Google Rosa del Mar, my bilingual song that I have on the album. And man, that thing is like, because I'll do that sometimes. I'll go to YouTube and just search some of my songs and see people singing or whatever. See where it's at, whatever. And Rosa del Mar is like huge. There's like millions of hits and hundreds.
Where'd you sing it in Mexico or what?
No. People are line dancing to it, and it's a huge hit up there because and so you just scroll Rosa del Mar. And just keep scrolling, you'll see people, all these line dancing videos.
And you're like, that's me.
And I was like, yeah, that's crazy. I was like, I want to just like show up to one of those like classes. And I mean, it's like 100 people out there dancing. Like line dancing. And these people, it's like China, Europe, fucking everywhere. Different, like everywhere. And you'll scroll up and you'll find a couple people. There's like, I think I've seen like 3 or 4 guys like singing it in other countries. They're like at a festival and they're playing with the guitar, Rosa del Mar, like just the way they sing it in there, like
in their own version.
The accent, it's pretty cool. So I mean, just look at Rosa del Mar on YouTube and just scroll up and you'll see all this.
With you saying that, Gabe,
like, cool. Just walk into the room there and be like, "Hey, I'm that guy." Like,
yeah, prove it, buddy. Here's a guitar right here. Prove it. Do you remember where you were when you ever first heard yourself on the radio?
Yeah, they played me on K-Buck Radio in Pleasanton. I was working at CPS Energy, and I was at one of the substations I was working at, and I knew he was going to play it at a certain time, so I had to sneak off
to go
in the truck and turn it on and listen to it, and I think "Say Hello to My Heart," the one I played earlier, was the first one they ever played on radio.
Oh, were you?
I was probably. Shit, I would think maybe at least 19, 20, maybe around there, like that.
That's got to be crazy, man. And so you couldn't record it. It was before iPhone.
No, yeah. I had one of those Nokia flip phones.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah, it was a flip phone, but
I think.
But
I want to say this before I forget, because I always forget stuff that I want to say. But we were talking about bridging a gap. I'm glad that there's people like Nate, the Solis brothers, that look at you, and like you said, people emailed you like, man, thank you. I've loved country music, but I've never had a Hispanic person to look up to. Like, man, I can do that. Like, look at, he's up there. But I think what you're doing, man, it's what you've done. Not even what you're doing, what you've done already is freaking amazing. And before I, we were talking, you were like, hey, I think this year, 2022, you mentioned a little bit, you want to try something different. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, like I mentioned, like I said, I mean, I've done the whole, when me and Mario went to those other bars and did all that, nobody would really show up, it's, just people that knew of us or whatever, but it was just, and getting more like with the song with David and Ram and seeing where that's gone and getting invited to all these, cruises or things like that with all, and being that
the country guy, part of that,
and being the Mexicano that does that. And, it just kind of, I don't know, made more sense to me to be like, these are my people and they love what I do. They're my best supporters. I mean, why not play more of those venues and jump into that?
I can definitely see you doing it, man.
Because it's like I said, I talked to Joey and I'm like, man, that's what I want to do this year. Like, go focus more in that, and that where I'm more loved and more embraced with what I do, and do that. Not saying I gotta go do Spanish, but I mean, if I didn't, you never know. I might write a song with somebody in full Spanish and I mean, who knows?
So hey, don't, dude. There's people that watch the show. You're gonna be getting some messages like, "Yo, we gotta do this song."
No, but that's kind of what I'm gonna aim for. And
look, see if people watch the show. Like they're hitting me up. Here you go. There it is. There. Now we're live on the air.
Gotta start all over. What was the first question?
Oh shit! And that was Nate. Nate DeLeon's like, "Yo, Bump, turn on the live."
Hey Nate, go to sleep. Go sleep, wait.
Oh
no,
man.
And I tell my brother too. Like it was, that I've noticed is pretty cool. Is like that. I mean, the whole country scene in San Antonio has been taken over by Mexicanos. Like
hell yeah.
I mean, everybody. I mean, it's just it's crazy how many people have emerged to get into the scene and we've pretty much taken over San Antonio.
Gabe, but let me tell you something.
Every bar you see in San Antonio is always a Mexicano country.
Mm-hmm. But let me show you, or not even show you. We'll talk about it. Randy Rogers has done a song with the Chupacabra,
Yeah.
and they're a huge.
Can you do the dance?
Huh?
Can you do the dance?
No, hell. But what I'm saying is, they know.
Oh yeah.
They know, and I hate to go back to this, but they know the buying power. It's there. They're and it's Máquina Norteña. That's the name of the group, I think. Máquina Norteña. They're merging two opposite ends music, finding a way to put it together because you're opening your audience on both sides, right?
And Kevin always me and Fowler are really good buddies, and I was with him at the show in the Valley in San Juan, and when Party played down there, and there's Fowler and a couple of the other Roy and Matt from the Valley, and Fowler's always told me, he's always just like been always so amazed. He loves I mean, he always gets David up too. He plays the accordion on some of his songs, but he gets it. He sees it. He knows, and he loves to play for the Hispanic people, but he loved it down there. And he was just like, God damn it, Gabe. He's like, why don't you like get into that? I was like, dude, what do you think I'm doing? I'm working on that right now. I was like, I want to get in that market, and he's like, that's your people. That's your thing. You need to do this.
So that's cool, bro. So Kevin Fowler, he absorbs it. Like he realizes.
Knows, yeah. He's always on my ass about it all the time. He tells me, I'm like, I was like, I don't think, man. That's my plan for 2022. That's my plan for 2022. I want to get, because he was just so freaking. He's like, looking out in the audience in San Juan, just all Mexicanos.
But those concerts, I started to see them more, Gabe. What you want to do? Like I've seen Randy Rogers and Signal on the same ticket. I've seen who's the other two that I seen on the same on I can't having a brain fart, but it can be done.
Yeah,
you especially.
But the difference is gonna be there like what all country Mexicano has done that. You got the Leo and the Mexicanos artists, but not
a Mexicano artist playing country music
and doing it. That's the key right there.
Hell yeah, man!
It's between us. Nate, go to sleep. I think somebody's calling you.
Oh shit!
But you know what I mean. But I mean, Nate's done it too. I mean, he's gone floors and opening for these guys too, and like he gets.
I love him, bro. He's such a humble kid. Like I'll go here on live by myself, just playing some jams or whatever. He'll be on Bump. What are you doing? Let's take a shot. Let's do a shot. So
Solis Brothers. I mean, we did that song. They get to their.
I saw that video, that little video y'all did. That was cool, bro. Y'all were joking around and stuff.
They're getting out there more too, and I mean, like I said, we're just taking over the
Joey,
scene,
Joey, Solis Brothers, Nate, Gabe. What's your buddy that you're always with?
Caesar?
No, the other country.
Matt? Which one?
The one you go to the Valley and play with.
Oh, Mario.
Yeah, Mario Flores. Hey, one ticket. Put him on there.
Like, do like Mexicano country or something.
I don't know if you would call it.
border-
I wouldn't call it that, but I would just say
across the border country, or I don't know. It has to be a good little name.
yeah. We'd have to come up with some. Hey, let's go to the viewers. What would be if you could get Gabe Garcia, Mario Flores, Nate, the Solis brothers? You know what I mean? Get them all on one ticket. What would we call it? What would be a good name for it, man? I don't know, but I would go.
Yeah.
I would show up. I mean, but I'm a guy who loves supporting, artists, because at the end of the day, man, that's how you make a living. You know what I mean? And
Frijol Fest.
Oh, is there a country artist that would like to ask a question? Who and what would he? If there was a country artist that he would like to ask a question, who and what would he ask?
Damn. Of course, everything's gonna be with George, man.
Yeah, of course, the king.
Like, hey George, can I have like 50 number one of your hits? Hey, can you give me some of the ones that you threw aside?
Yo, Nate said refried bean fest.
That's a Frijol Fest. Frijol Fest.
Hey man, I might jump on this. Hey, if there's anybody out there, some investors, y'all want to hit me up, dude, because I think this. I'm being real. I know I'm laughing, I'm joking, but I'm being serious. It
has to be like everything make. I don't know, like all the sponsors gotta be like say like.
Oh yeah, so you want to be
like Fiesta brand seasoning. I'm just trying to get all the stuff that I can take back home.
Tex-Mex. If you do, Adrian, that Tex-Mex Fest, that's more. It's Tejano. I think
Frijol Fest sounds.
Frijol Fest. Well,
I don't know, but then you think Tejano. It has to be something with the country thing, like country Mexican thing.
I don't know, dude. They're like, do it. Everybody's like, do it. A Texican show. A Texican. Yeah. Hey, I shout out to my Texican family and all the T-shirts. Let me see. Make sure I got all my shout outs today. Oh, you know what? One more real quick. I have this weekend, if you're not doing anything, they're opening something on, I forgot the name of the damn road because the address is not on here, but it's off of Highway 16, going to Poteet, right there. Like if you're going to go to the Poteet flea market, the grand opening of Colt 45 or Colt Sports Park. Oh, yeah. They're going to be there all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're going to have beer, food, live music, volleyball tournaments, cornhole, and I forgot what else. But it sounds like it's going to be a good time, man. Make sure you guys go out there and support local businesses. It's called Colts Sports Park.
Yeah, I think that's where they had all the baseball tournaments over there.
But what is the name of that road? What's that road?
Is that on 16 or no?
It's 16, and man, I can't think of the name of the thing. But it's a new sports park that they're building. And if you're not doing anything, if it ends up being some nice weather, get out there and support local. It'd be really, really cool. Rama de Mesquite Fest.
But like I said, it has to be like something not sounding so Tejano. You know what I mean? Where it's gonna sound like there's gonna be all Tejano bands.
Gabe, what is a song that you could sing?
Country on the Border.
Country on the Border.
We're not too far from the border. But.
Country on the Rio. I don't know, man. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get a name. Can you play a song in Spanish? I don't want to put you on the spot. You don't have to.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do this one that I've been doing lately. Let me go. It's
for a tia I have up there in Fort Worth, Miss Sylvia Narvaez.
I'll do a little bit of this one.
Tierra Tejano Fest. Don't want to put Tejano in there though.
Yeah, it's gonna be country and
Mexican somehow. I know it says Tejano, but country and Texas is Tejano.
This is by one of my other biggest supporters. He used to come to my shows. He came to my dad's funeral. He would pick me up on the side of the road there in Lytle, and at Harris Western Center, and take me on the rode Laredo with him. I'd be up there with a guitar, not even plugged in on the stage, and then he would get me up to sing country songs. And yeah, he was always the biggest supporter of mine.
Who is it?
¿Recuerdas en el altar cuando juramos hasta morir? Y ahora que estoy muriendo y tengo miedo dejarnos ir, vuestro amor siempre será y yo me olvido aquel. Comprendo, sigue viviendo, sigue tu vida, te esperaré. Juntos, siempre juntos, allá en el cielo, yo te debé. Juntos, siempre juntos, vive tu vida, sigue viviendo, te esperaré. Vive tu vida, sigue viviendo, te esperaré. Juntos. And I might have family there, man.
Wow.
Dude. So, you know, that's amazing, bro, that he would pick you up on the side of the road, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I mean, that guy did it.
Oh yeah.
That guy did it. I mean, he was on tour with Alan Jackson, bro.
That's why I was trying to find that email, because Mike Dungan, who signed Emilio back then, who had him on the label there, and all them, he wrote in the article. That's what I was trying to find. I'll probably find it here later on. I'll dig more to it, because I know I've emailed it to myself and had it for a long time. And but Mike Dungan was like in search of another Hispanic
country
artist,
artist.
and this was like in, like I said, 2007 or so, you know, and this is back in the day, and you know, looking for another artist. We see the Hispanic people at our shows when he's talking about our shows, you know, like he's a country show like all the white people, you know, like this, our shows. We see him at our shows, but we see that the Hispanic the fans are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So they were back then they were looking for somebody to he's like Emilio,
break the barrier.
And he put like Emilio, Selena. He mentioned, you know, Hispanic
Specific
artists,
names,
like,
yeah.
that embraced, you know, that market, and so yeah, that's what I was trying to find. But yeah, I mean, I'm a firm believer of that, and that's why I'm like, man, there's still that spot, you know, that it would be cool to be among the other. On that hand, you know, to be like, it could be like I said, when somebody asked me like, what do you do? What's your goal? You know, I'm like, man, I can die tomorrow and feel like with no regret that of the things that I've done. I left work, chased my dream, you know, everything I've done. It's like I've done quite a bit that a lot of people haven't done or haven't tried or whatever.
People
like,
dreamed of doing,
yeah,
bro.
it's and it's like, you know, little small town guy like me and doing it. I just kept doing it and chased it, and but it's like, man, and that's what was so frustrating was the whole meetings about all that crap, or the whole nobody having the balls to do it and make that it's like, man, I'm right here, god damn it,
Do it, push
like,
the
what
button.
the hell's the problem? Like, what was going on, you know? And then, like I said, almost there, the next single was gonna be me, you know, on that label, and boom, it all transformed into that. It's just so like, god dang it, it's there, but like I said, I have firm believer that you know, God has His plan, but like I said, I tell people, I'm like, man, I've done a lot. I mean, there's a lot of artists that are major artists that never got the exposure
That
I
you got.
on a major television show, like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, yeah, they're on the radio, but hell, were they in front of thousands of people? You know,
Millions of people
like,
watching
millions,
every night.
Monday, every night for 9 weeks. Like, you know, there was a lot that I was you know, privileged to do, and was blessed that I got to do that. But you know, so I told people, I'm like, I mean, yeah, I probably still have a goal because I have a goal inside me that I still want to do that. I still want that freaking single on that major radio station, and that, you know, that's still probably. Then I'll really rest, you know.
Right.
You know, but it's
who do you think your biggest fan is?
Biggest fan, man. I don't know. I mean, I mean, of course, my parents. I mean, but you know, and I know my dad's guiding me through. You know, he passed in 07, like I said, and I mean, he's been guiding me through a lot of stuff. And
was your dad a big country artist fan, like a country music fan?
Not much, just that. I guess not really. Not like he would just listen to a bunch of stuff, but he was just really supportive of what we did, and you know, like I said, he had my brother singing, and then he. You know, he took me along, and when my brother went to college and I started doing it, and they took me everywhere, you know, and he was, you know, he would always look up, like, I hated because he'd always put you on a spot, you know, when the guy that produced my first record when I was 17, we would always go to South Padre Island and for vacation with the family, and my dad was always looking up places where I can go sing, you know, like God damn it, I hated that.
Hey, maybe you get a free meal. Yeah. The family get a free meal.
Yeah. So he looked up in the paper and it said Nashville songwriter playing at the Radisson Hotel on the deck. You know, so my dad takes me over there and ask the guy, like, hey, can my son sing? Whatever. And I'm like, God, I hate being put in a spot. So, yeah, I was like, I want to go hang out, dude. I was a young kid, you know.
You want to be in the beach, bro.
I was a young kid, you know. And so so that guy got me up to sing a couple songs, and I played, and the guy invited me. His name was Clint Bullard. He's like, hey, why don't you come back tomorrow? So I came back. We came back the next day, and the rest of my family came. They were all there.
Yeah.
Because it was just me and my dad, and me and my brother, and whoever. I mean, it was just us. I don't know. And it's been so long. But so we went back, and I played for almost an hour. You know, like he had me play the whole time. And so then that's back when they had cassette tapes. $10 donation and get a free tape. So so we got that tape, and ended up contacting that guy, and my dad. You know. My dad, so I ended up.
So your dad knew what he was doing, bro.
I knew, yeah. But it was just like, and that's what I said. Like, so that was a tough thing when I moved to Nashville, and that's why, you know, when he passed a heart attack, when I was like, man, you never know when it's your time to go, so I'm gonna go do it, you know, and so I took off, and then I was still grieving from everything. It was just so fresh still, and ended up getting on the show, and I mean, even like when John, Party, and I would sit at the bar, you know, it was still that fresh to where any country song or movie with something I remind my dad, I'll just break down, you know, and we were at the bar, it was me and Party, and we were sitting there, and I was like, you know, you're sitting at the bar, there's old country songs come on the jukebox, you know, we play, and I was like, he's like, why are you crying, man? He's like, I just miss my dad, you know, and then he's like, and he started crying, he's like, man, I wouldn't know what it'd be like if I lost my dad, you know, and then, you know, him and his dad are real close now and stuff, but it's, you know, and I know, I mean, I'll bring this up too, because like my dad's been, I know a lot of people, and people that know me really well and know, I mean, I've had recently the past month or so, like just bombarded with numbers. So I'm a big, like spiritual numbers, angel numbers and stuff like that. And my dad started guiding me through angel numbers for a long time. And so, you know, angel numbers, for people that don't know that, are numbers that you constantly see. It's not just like you look for it. You constantly, they're there. Boom, just like.
They're in your face all the time.
All the time. And so, you know, you look it up and you see what, and they have meanings. Each number has meanings and stuff in there. And so, man, number 2 was throwing at me. They were, I would pay attention, and I had to talk to a numerologist and spiritual lady to find out more about the stuff. And so I was used that. So he would always guide me with different things I had going on, like say a contract or something that I had to do. Like, you know, my gut feeling was, in my mind, was more telling me to do this, and he would, boom, those numbers were just boom, 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 boom. So I was like, okay, that's what I need to do, you know. And it was like that intuition was there. He was helping me make the right decisions and stuff. And so John, Party always would make fun of me about it, and you know, he'd be like, Gabe, my roommate Gabe sees numbers, blah blah blah. You know, so I always tell people, and then it started coming around more when we were like together, you know, like like something like my dad's number was 2022. That was his favorite number, and that's why 2022 is like always been like this is gonna be the year that changes, the new opportunities, new beginnings. That's what 22 means, and I mean it's just going nuts right now the past month, and so back then when John would just like make fun of me about it, and then his grandma had passed away, and she was just like my dad, like she was the one that always got him singing and did this and like into country music and stuff like that. So when it was a hard thing for him when she passed, and so the numbers thing he started getting with him now, and back then, and so he would always call me, hey, guess what room I'm in, this and that, and it was always the same number for him, not 22, but a different number.
Yeah, for his own number.
Then
Yeah.
Then he started becoming more of a believer about it, and so if you, later on after this, you can listen to his song called Starlight. It's one of his songs on there, and it talks about all that, like.
Really?
And I was like, okay.
Shit, that's awesome, bro.
So if you listen to Starlight, everybody out there, if you listen to Starlight, it talks about like one of the lines is, now I believe in things that I can't see. He can sense her around and sense everything, and that's his Starlight. Like
right.
He knows she's helping him and stuff like that too, and so now he's out and believes in it now, And I was like, okay, and I remember a little song about it. And you're making fun of me back then.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. But that's how, I mean, I know my dad's a big fan of mine up there and helping me with a lot of things. So
that's awesome, man. That you're spiritual like that, and you know what I mean. You believe that he's guiding you, and you know what I mean. And he's probably proven it to you time and time again. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean. And that can't be a coincidence for sure. No. Gabe. Again, I'm still in the awe factor that you're here, bro, and I'm being very, very truthful. But I'm glad that you told me you would come to the show because I want to showcase.
I know you kept asking me like even 10 minutes before it came over here.
It's like, hey, bro,
are you
still coming, dog? I want to showcase our culture. I want to showcase who we are. And this is, this gets seen you got people watching from California, New York, Florida, all over Texas. And then I put these up later. People watch them later on YouTube or whatever. But you've done it, and you're going to keep doing it, bro. Like you keep bridging gaps or bridges that have been out there. But the fact that you're here, and you're just like very like just chill, bro. You're very nonchalant, just like, hey, yeah, it's cool, bro. You know what I mean? I thought you were gonna be a little. I thought you're gonna be a little more hyper. Does that make any sense? But you're very just like very chill, man. It's really really cool.
It's called getting old, man.
Yeah. I'm with you, bro. I'm right there with you, bro. I'll be hitting the big. Shit. You know what I asked? Dude, that's when you're getting old. I asked my wife, am I going to be 45 or 46? And she's like, Meskin, you're going to be 46. I tried. So my birthday's coming up next month. I'll be 46, man. But, when you were talking earlier about you went through all these phases, I think every kid here in South Texas kind of goes through all their phases until you find kind of your glitch or what you really love, man. But I mean, I could show up in some Vans and a hat and I'll sing.
I'm not in boots all the time, man.
I'll sing everything, bro. I'll sing every country song, because it's what I love, man. You know what I'm saying? It's freaking amazing. We have an amazing culture, and I really think to people who are listening, if you really watch the show, a lot of the Tejano people, I think what Gabe's saying might have some fire behind it, and that's being truthful. Like, and to the artists that are around here, to the artists that are out here gigging, every weekend, finding their own gigs, doing their own thing. Hey, let's mix this shit up and see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? You know what I mean? Nobody shows up, or you're like, hey, man, this shit's working.
Yeah, like I was saying, I mean, you have the Wolios and the Tejano guys going, but there's no one Hispanic country guy. It's just this country, you know, like
No.
in that
You're
market like that, you know.
you're absolutely
Somebody
right.
named it.
And I'm being serious about that festival, bro. Like,
No,
I think it would. I think it would be a
find that
cool.
good name.
Yeah, we'll go hunting for that name. I'll put a post on Facebook and we'll see all the suggestions that we get. Gabe, can we do one song before we say our good nights?
Yeah, which one you want?
And I want your most popular.
The Country Let's Go on you one?
Yep. It's the last song for the night. Mr. Gabe Garcia.
Thank y'all for having me, man. And thank you for having me. And all y'all watching. It's an everyday traffic jam to a grumpy old boss man. Overworked and underpaid, and them deadlines are killing you these days. Baby, I know exactly what you need, so come on home to me. Baby, slip off them high heels, business suit, slide into them bum route blue jeans and cowboy boots. Scoot right home over. Next to me, it's looking like a back road tailgate and shade tree. This is something I can really get used to, 'cause country sure looks good on you. It's always the same four walls and non-stop phone calls. Third cup of coffee instead of front porch sweet iced tea. Girl, it's a rat race you can't win. Slow things down again. Baby, slip off them high heels, business suit, slide into them bone round blue jeans and cowboy boots. Scoot right on over. Next to me, it's looking like a back road tailgate and shade tree. This is something I can really get used to, 'cause country sure looks good on you. Yeah, country sure looks good on you. Sure looks good on you.
Wow. Gabe, dude, from the bottom of my heart, bro. And I mean this in the most sincere way, dude. Please continue to reach for your dream, whatever it is, wherever you want to be. And to the people watching, man, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out, and download his music. Go to if he has music on iTunes, on Spotify, all that. Everything. But he also www.gabegarciamusic.com. I think I got it right here. There it is, right? Yeah, gabegarciamusic.com. Make sure you check him out. If it's an old album that you can't find and you want it, hey, pay the $9, dude. It goes for a great cause. You know what I'm saying? Let's support our not local musicians, because Gabe's and I'm not knocking local musicians, but Gabe is, he's played everywhere, man. He's played across the pond. When I mean across the pond, across the Atlantic Ocean. He's played in Europe. He's played, you heard him say, he played in France and stuff. It's crazy, man. The guy's been on nationally televised show. And honestly, Gabe, you made it. You made it, bro. Like, it might not be to where you want to be.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's like a personal. It's a personal.
It's a personal thing. You made it.
But that's what I'm saying. I can die tomorrow and be like, you know what, I did do. I got to do a lot of
exactly.
But,
and speaking about spiritual and stuff like that, we were kind of getting pretty deep there towards the end of the thing. the spiritual thing's gonna just flow on to next Wednesday, man. Next Wednesday, it is in the world that we live in now. It is impossible to get them all at one time, but we're working really hard to figure out a way to get everybody. And it's gonna be a virtual kind of one show next week. But next week, I have these beautiful ladies on the show, right? These beautiful ladies, the Tejanas Unidas, right? They have a beautiful video. If you've never seen it, go to YouTube, check it out. They're all going to be on here. Not all of them, but a lot of them will be on here, and they're going to talk about, this great project that they all decided to do. And it's just going to be a good time. So make sure y'all tune in next week. We'll have the Tejanas Unidas on here. It's going to be great, man. Gabe, again, dude, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for coming and hanging out with me, bro. And I hope this is a start of a friendship, and I would love to have you back anytime you want, bro. We want to do
Southtown for a steak, man.
There you go. Well, I have to take you up on that. We got to go down to Southtown for a steak. Hey guys, real quick, Gabe, if they want to hire you for an event, what do they do? The Gabe Garcia?
Yeah, they can go on the website. Yeah, there's an email. It's 396 entertainment at Gmail.
396 Entertainment. If you go to this site right here,
under the booking.
Yeah, if you go to the www.gabegarciamusic.com under booking, all the information's on there. Whatever kind of event you has, I'm sure he'd knock it out the park for you. Gabe, do you have anything coming up before we call it a night? Do you have anything coming up soon where we can go out and watch you?
Actually, I'd have to look at my
Put him on the spot like that.
Because I know I got to update a bunch of stuff, but I know for sure, like full band wise. I mean, I'm always doing little acoustic things here and there, but like a lot of people always ask me like, do you have a band? And it's like I haven't done a lot of band stuff in a while, but I do have a couple shows coming up on the rodeo grounds, the San Antonio rodeo grounds. I got one that Joey booked for me. I'm going to be playing.
Oh, inside the tent.
No, one of the show barns, I think, or whatever. One of the stages is going to be like the Hano stage.
Yeah. It's a white. Dude, it gets packed as hell in there, dude.
I'm playing right before Ram.
Oh hell yeah!
I think that's going to be the 20. It's not till the end of February, like the last.
But we got to get the day off, right? Because it's during the day, right?
It's on a Saturday. It's
gonna be
okay. I think it's the 26th. I think.
Cool.
I want to say it is. So it's like the finals night. But I'm playing like at 3:45 to like 6 something, and then Ram comes on after that. That's on February 26th. But also I just got booked at the rodeo grounds too with the band February 10th. I think that's the kickoff to the rodeo. I think, but I'm gonna be playing they have, I guess, one of the other show barns. They have a viewing party. So they have like I guess all the people that don't want to go inside the rodeo. They have big screens everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a bar and everything, and then they're going to have a dance afterwards. So I'm playing, so on February the 10th, San Antonio Stock Show Rodeo grounds, one of just ask them where the viewing party is. That's where we're going to be at. It's from 9 to 11. So I'm going to be playing 9 to 11 full band right after the rodeo and the viewing, viewing parties.
All I ask is that whenever you see me, no matter where if I'm 500 people back with 2 turkey legs in the air, it's like Bump. Shout out to Bump in the house right there.
Like, one of those mine.
I'll be good with that. I did that to Cecil one time at the Pulte Strawberry Festival. He hit me up. He's like, "Hey, you gonna come out and watch us?" Man, I don't like going to Strawberries. Too many people. And he's like, "Come on." All right. I said, if you see me, I'm gonna have 2 turkey legs in my hand. You give me a shout out. Bro, there was so many. It's just David Lee. It's his hometown. There's so many damn people. There's no way I was gonna get to the front of the stage, but I stayed back. And literally, I picked up the 2 turkey legs, bro. And he looks across the thing and he sees the turkey legs. He's like, "Oh my God, you really brought up 2 turkey legs." So shout out to Cesar, man.
Yeah, the roomie.
Yep. Gabe, again, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for tuning in to Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. Again, make sure you guys tune in to Tejanas Unidas next week, 7:30. Make sure you tune in. I do this every single Wednesday. And 2022, this is just the beginning. We got a lot of things coming your way. Bumpers Wacky Wednesday is going to be all over the place.
New beginnings.
That's the number. There you go. I'm gonna hold you to it all year, Gabe.
But you're gonna start looking up numbers now.
Yeah, 22 is bringing good things this year, man.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. Oh, somebody said, Gabe, do you have a Cash App or a Venmo?
Have them both. I guess. How can we post that?
Here, let me. I'll do that right now. Hey, we're not gonna say bye yet. Hold on, give me 1 second. So what you got to do, Gabe, to kill the thing?
Or do you want me to post it on?
No.
I shared it on my.
Check it out. Look, you're gonna freak out. We're gonna do it right here. Watch.
Which one's more popular, Venmo?
We'll do Cash App. I think Cash App's more popular.
Cash App.
What is it? Yeah. Look, you're gonna freak out right now. We're gonna see if we can get Gabe. He's not gonna sing, but maybe he'll strum a little bit, so I can let this play a little bit right here. Here it is. Hold on. Just show it to me, Gabe.
It's the $.
Hold on.
Gabe G Music. Let's see. Look.
That's it.
Make sure. Look. Anyway.
Yep. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on. Let me fix it.
Let me see the Venmo. Gabe G Music.
Oh, why did I do that? All right.
You want the Venmo or no?
Yeah, hell yeah. We're gonna do them all. We're gonna do them all, man. That's
find this shit.
Hey, thank you guys for hanging out. We're gonna get Gabe right here. Somebody wants to throw in some tips for some great music.
Venmo.
Let's see. Done. You want to what? Add Venmo?
Yeah.
Let's see. Where's all right. What's the?
It's at Gabriel. No, the at sign Gabriel dash Garcia dash 451.
4-5, like just like that.
Yeah, I don't know what the.
Okay, here we go. So check it out. If you want to donate to Gabe Garcia tonight, there they are. Cash App, Venmo. Hook the brother up, man. Again, he put on a great acoustic show here for you guys. But there's his stuff. It'll be on here on YouTube and whatnot. You guys will watch it later on. They'll be posted to my YouTube page, and you can find me just under Bumper Gomez, and all the Wacky Wednesday videos are on there, just like this one. Gabe's video will be on there tonight before I go to sleep. Again, man, hit him up, Gabe Garcia, Gabe G Music on Cash App, Venmo at Gabriel-Garcia-451. Saludos to my buddy Ricardo Calderon. Hope you're doing good, Gabe. To Ricardo. Guys, thank you guys for tuning in to another great episode of Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. Next Wednesday, Tejanos Unidas in the house. As many as we can get on the show. Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. Gabe Garcia, make sure you support him. If you see him anywhere.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
And we look forward to putting that festival on for you guys. Y'all have a good night.